Discussion on Long Day's Journey into Night by Eugene O'Neill. Full summary, themes and characters with original textual quotations. Characters. Mary Tyrone. Mary is a tragic figure torn between her longing for the past and her addiction. Her struggles with denial and self-delusion form the emotional core of the play. Quote, "I was so happy for a time, but I've never felt it since. Never." James Tyrone. James, the patriarch, is miserly and nostalgic for his acting career. He embodies regret over lost potential and his family's suffering. Quote, "That god-damned play I bought for a song and made such a great success in. A great money success, it ruined me with its promise of an easy fortune." Jamie Tyrone. The older son, Jamie, is cynical, self-destructive, and resentful of his father. Despite his flaws, he deeply loves his family. Quote, "I've known about Mama so much longer than you. I've watched her." Edmund Tyrone. The younger son, Edmund, is a sensitive and poetic soul struggling with illness. He represents the playwright's younger self and often critiques the family's dynamics. Quote, "It was a great mistake, my being born a man. I would have been much more successful as a seagull or a fish." Themes in Long Day's Journey into Night. Addiction and denial. Mary's morphine addiction and Jamie's alcoholism illustrate the family's inability to confront reality. Each character uses escapism to cope with their suffering. Quote, "The past is the present, isn't it? It's the future too. We all try to lie out of that but life won't let us." Family and blame. The Tyrones constantly blame one another for their failures, yet they are bound by deep familial love. The interplay of blame and dependence underscores the dysfunction. Quote, "We're all cursed, and we always have been." Illness and mortality. Edmund's tuberculosis symbolizes the fragility of life, while Mary's addiction reflects the physical and emotional toll of illness. Quote, "The hardest thing to take is the blank wall she builds around her. Or it's more like a bank of fog in which she hides and loses herself." Dreams and disillusionment. Mary's nostalgia for her youth contrasts with James's regret over sacrificing artistic integrity for financial stability. Quote, "What is it I wanted to buy? I'm afraid to find out." Isolation and communication. Each character is deeply isolated, and their attempts to connect often lead to conflict. This isolation reflects the difficulty of achieving true understanding. Quote, "You don't want to understand." Summary of Long Day's Journey into Night. Eugene O'Neill's Long Day's Journey into Night is a semi-autobiographical play depicting a single day in the life of the Tyrone family. The play unfolds over 4 acts and delves into themes of addiction, illness, family dysfunction, and unfulfilled dreams. The characters are trapped in cycles of blame, guilt, and denial, reflecting the complex dynamics of the playwright's own family. Act 1. The play begins in the morning, with the Tyrones appearing cordial but carrying underlying tensions. Mary Tyrone has recently returned from a sanatorium, having undergone treatment for her morphine addiction. Her husband, James, a miserly former actor, is affectionate but often critical. Their sons, Jamie, an alcoholic, and Edmund, a poet suffering from tuberculosis, are equally burdened by family conflicts. Early on, hints of Mary's relapse and Edmund's worsening health emerge. Quote, "None of us can help the things life has done to us. They're done before you realize it, and once they're done they make you do other things until at last everything comes between you and what you'd like to be, and you've lost your true self forever." Act 2. The tension grows as Mary's behavior reveals her descent back into addiction. James and Jamie argue over their father's stinginess, particularly regarding Edmund's medical care. Edmund confesses his existential despair and deep longing for escape. Mary retreats further into her illusions, reminiscing about her youthful dreams and blaming James for her misery. Quote, "You've always tried to make me see life as it is, but I can't. It's too ugly." Act 3. Mary isolates herself in her bedroom, clinging to memories of her happier past. The rest of the family struggles with her denial. James drinks excessively, and Jamie expresses bitterness over his wasted life. Edmund confronts his father about his cheapness and emotional neglect. Mary, spiraling, reveals her deep-seated guilt over the death of her second son. Quote, "I hate doctors. They'll do anything to keep you coming to them." Act 4. Late at night, the family is physically together but emotionally fragmented. Jamie admits he has been a bad influence on Edmund out of jealousy. James reflects on his lost potential, while Edmund dreams of escape through the sea. Mary, now fully under the influence of morphine, descends into a trance-like state, recalling her youthful dreams of becoming a nun or a concert pianist. The play ends in haunting silence, symbolizing the irreconcilable despair of the family. Quote, "I fell in love with James Tyrone and was so happy for a time.